years later.
Hi.
What's up, everybody? 10 years later, the Leo Effects returns. Welcome to the reboot, the rehashing. We are so happy to have you here. And I am joined by an amazing guest this evening, Whitney AKA Burwell. Not a stranger to the Leo Effects, been on a couple times before, and every time it's always been such a pleasure. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate that.
You are welcome. I'm honored to be here, truly.
That's so cool. Now, we're just going to kind of dive right into it since this is more of a short kind of show, like a short model. You have a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, and I'd like to hopefully talk about it all. I'm not going to cut you off or anything. So however long you take to tell your story, that's cool with me. I'm here for it. So let's kind of talk about, you've been on the show before. We've talked about how you always seem to have these cool, like, musical projects going on. So how is everything going with that? How is the music industry treating you lately?
Yeah, so it's been a whirlwind. I will give you some context just so it makes a little more sense where I am now. But since we last talked, I think last we spoke, I put out this music project inspired by the loss of my mom. And it was very grief focused, just stages of grief, processing grief, mental health, all of these things. And in the process of putting that music project out, my mental health took a dive. I think grief was a part of it. I think work chaos was a part of it. And I was working in the music industry at the time and stepped back to focus on my mental health fully at the time. So the project came out and I just kind of shut off, removed myself from the industry, started to reevaluate my career path. And I ended up going into the mental health industry as my profession for about 2 years and was not in the music industry. I was not releasing music. I was not working in the music industry. It just wasn't really on my radar anymore. And so I did that for a while. I actually worked at a grief nonprofit. So the grief music project inspired me to work at a grief nonprofit that does grief counseling. And that was really meaningful for me. It just kind of took this thing that I found passion for and made it my career. So I found that really, really fulfilling. There were some changes in the organization back in March, which was just a month ago. Yeah. So a couple of pieces lined up that have led to me putting a lot of music out there right now. So my music was in a music catalog, and in the catalog, if your song gets picked up, it gets placed on like TV, film, things like that. So I had a song called Sing It Back that I had never released that got placed in a show on Amazon Prime. It was a reality TV show called Sweethearts. And so this song got placed. I got this email in November of last year in 2024 and realized I was really excited about the placement. It was just really cool to have something neat happen when I wasn't really doing anything with it. And so I realized the song wasn't out and decided to create a campaign and put it out. So that was what led me to put Sing It Back Out in March. It was on March 10th. So I did my first release since 2022. So I took like a 3-year hiatus, got the song placement, decided to put it out on National Landline Telephone Day because the song was a call to connect. And so that felt like there was a connection there. So all of the marketing around that was like a telephone and all things. And it was really fun. It was just really, really fun. And so then I had this other song that I had not released called Unimpressive. That's about imposter syndrome. We can talk as much or as little about these as you want, but that just came out on Sunday.
Yes.
And today was Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day. So it just felt like all of these things kind of lined up and the release timing made sense for me to put music out there. So I'm kind of like immersed in the releases right now.
That's awesome. And I think I actually shared, I think I shared one of your songs to our Discord.
You did what? Say that again.
I think I shared one of those 2 songs to our Discord for everybody to hear.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, like just getting your story out there for everybody. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your mom for sure, and I for one am glad that you're back in the music and putting out, because your stuff is just. We were talking in the pre-stream that I had recently went back and listened to a collab you did. I'm going to be posting that one on my Discord as well for people to hear.
That's good.
So I'm excited. Do you have anything new besides that in the works?
Yeah. So this feels like ages ago. It really does. It was a while ago. So in 2018, I was in a pop trio and we were writing new songs like weekly. So we created all of these songs. If you like the high energy pop sound, we have like 5 or 6 that have never come out. So right now I'm thinking that maybe we prepare those songs and get them out there because they match this upbeat pop vibe. So I'm working through finalizing old music to release, and you'll never know how old it is. It sounds new enough, but it's from 2018. So I've been sitting on these songs and I still believe in them. So I'm thinking about putting those out there as a next step.
Awesome. I mean, yeah. I can understand imposter syndrome. I've talked to a lot of other people that deal with that as well. And I don't know. You can take it for what it's worth, but I really don't think you have anything to worry about.
Oh, thanks. I wish I believed that too. I don't know why it's so real, but I think a lot of us experience it. And I think I've heard it's especially common with entrepreneurs or anybody who's doing their own project to feel like you don't know what you're doing, because a lot of the time you really are making things up as you go and creating structure where there isn't structure. And I think as a musician, that's part of being a musician too. You're just kind of like taking it one thing at a time and trying to believe in yourself. And it's really hard. Some days are really hard.
I can believe that as a musician. I am not musically inclined myself, but I can appreciate those that are. I know that it's got to be a ton of work, and you not only do musical stuff for yourself, you also help out others, and that was something that we talked about in the pre-stream. So I don't know if you want to talk about getting the marketing back out there, but I'm all for it.
Sure. Yeah. So I founded a company in 2015 that does marketing and publicity and specializes in the music industry. So a lot of my focus over the years has been helping artists get their song out there and doing all of the necessary steps to make that happen. I think one of those things is really honestly believing in yourself. So there is a bit of a pep talk component to the work that I do with bands. So much easier to encourage someone else. So much easier. But I've been doing that since 2015 and did that full time for 4 years before I got into the mental health industry. And when the shifts happened, I took it full time again. So March was a really big month for me. I had a single release, took my company full time again. I am now actively coaching bands. And I've actually partnered with a record label to do band artist development and crash courses within their community. So I've come back a little bit stronger in some ways with this new partnership. And it feels really good to be back in the music industry. It is a really tough industry for a lot of reasons. So I'm navigating the highs and the lows of what it means to be in the music industry, but there's a part of my heart that really loves it. So yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
That's awesome. It's like the year of the reboot. Now, is that the same? Are you going by the same name?
No. So I actually rebranded it. So when I was doing it full time for 9 years, the 9-year period, it was called the Marketing Mixtape. And the name represented it as a marketing agency doing website development, social media campaigns, PR campaigns, music videos. It was kind of like this all-in-one entity that could help you with all of the pieces and managing the pieces. That whole time, I did a lot of education through coaching and courses also. And that was the part that really fulfilled me the most. So when I rebranded it, the name now is Soundwave Strategy, which is the original LLC. It's only coaching and only courses. So it's all focused on education and empowering artists to build their music careers with the tools and the templates and the strategies and the things like that they need to launch and sustain their music career. So really fulfilling, really fun. I'm getting to work with bands in Canada, in New York right now. I have 2 in New York and 2 in Canada, actually. So it's really cool just to get to meet people from all over the world through this work. It's just really rewarding.
That's awesome. I love that. Now, you said you've got people from New York and Canada, and you're going to get more people. I'm sure of that, from all over the United States and probably, even more countries beyond. Is there a certain like genre that you prefer to work with, or is it just musicians come as you are?
Musicians come as you are. I look for the story. So what is the song about? What story are we telling? How does that look? How does that feel? I will listen to music because I think it's important to hear it if we're going to brand it, but I don't provide music feedback. It's kind of like art is art, and I want to take the art and put it in front of the right people. I'm not necessarily like a music connoisseur, but I am a marketing expert, so I can help them package it and get it out there. So with that, it's not genre specific. I'll work with all genres. I've worked with all genres, and they're all very interesting.
All right. So even if somebody came and they're like, "Hey, I'm a dubstep artist. I don't do any lyrics at all."
Yeah, I could do that.
Nice.
We can brand it. There's an audience for that. Yeah.
And if you don't mind, where could people like get in contact with you?
Yeah.
For that purpose.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to work or learn more about the services, the website is makeasoundwave.com.
Makeasoundwave.com.
Makeasoundwave.com. It's got my bio. You can see the work I've done. You can see all the bands I've worked with. You can read the testimonials. That's my favorite page on the website, where you just hear other people and what they got out of working together. There's some free resources on there. So yeah.
Well, cool. And I'm going to provide the links for that in the YouTube description as well. And there you go. My moderator has posted a link. We'll just go ahead and put that up.
Thank you.
So that's fantastic. I'm so happy that everything's coming together the way that it is for you.
Thank you.
So let's talk for a second about where people can find you to connect, like outside of the Make a Sound Wave. Like, obviously you and I talk a lot on Instagram. So do you want to tell people your other socials, or?
Yeah, definitely. So there's Make a Sound Wave, which is the marketing stuff. If you want to connect with me as a musician, my Instagram handle is burwell music. And that's where I'm posting song releases, just kind of showing what I'm up to. I just signed with a booking agency. That's another news item. Woohoo! So that's for private events, which
nice.
Not open to the public, but it's a great opportunity as an artist to be playing out. So that's exciting. If you have a private event and want me to play it, I have a booking agent now. And all of that information is on my Instagram. Instagram is where I hang out the most. It's like the most behind the scenes. I have a link tree. The link tree has links to song releases. It'll kind of redirect you to all of the links that I have. But that's linktree.com/burwell. But Instagram is my go-to.
Sweet. Well, speaking of socials, when can we expect to get a sound, like a little bit of song or something for TikTok? That's lots of
TikTok,
people take off on TikTok. Like
TikTok is stressful to me. So when I was on TikTok, I had my time on TikTok. I found it really stressful because once I got on there, I had a really hard time detaching from it. It was like a little too addictive, a little too much information, a little too fast paced. For the sake of my mental health, I am not on TikTok. So
okay.
no promises, don't wait up. I'm not going to join.
No judgment. That is a very valid argument. I mean, when they took TikTok away, I made the decision in my mind that it was never coming back.
Yeah.
So I deleted it off of my phone.
Yeah.
And it was like a muscle memory thing for a long time to not hunt for it. Like I had become so connected to it that I didn't know what to do with it gone.
Yeah, that's so tough. That's so tough. Social media is such a beast, It connects us, but it's also like surprisingly addictive. And I think we all know that. But it's like a form of connection. It's a form of entertainment. Yeah, it's an interesting place right now to be on social media.
I think it brings out the best and worst of all of us.
I think so too. Yeah. But it's when used as a tool, it can open so many doors. So
that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So man, I don't, there's just so much to go over, and it's been so long since you've been on the show. I don't even know like what direction to go half the time. Like I'm still getting back into doing this, You're my first of I believe this would be season 4 of the Leo Effects. So I had even contemplated rebranding, like coming out with a new name and everything, but I thought that might confuse people. So as a marketing strategist, what do you think?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you need advice, I think it's okay to rebrand if you're repositioning your company. Like if the purpose of the company has changed or you want to reach a new audience, I think rebranding can be appropriate. You can leverage your old brand to promote your new brand so that people know to find you in a different capacity. But I think ultimately it all comes down to who do you want to reach and what message are you sending? Like, what is the product? And who cares is kind of the ultimate question. Who's going to care? Is it the same audience or is it a different audience? At the end of the day, there's not necessarily one linear answer. It's kind of just like, once you have kind of thought it through and done some research and maybe gotten some opinions, it has to be kind of like instinctual. So like what feels like the right thing for you. It is a lot of work to rebrand a company. To get a new name, to find all of the handles. I mean, you want to be sure that those handles are even available and the name isn't taken. And, starting from scratch it's an undertaking. So you have to kind of know what you're getting into before you do it. But the hardest part about rebranding, even for me, is that you have to reestablish your brand recognition. Even though I have 9 years of a brand that I built that people knew about, this is like, it's like starting from scratch. So I've got the experience of someone who's done this for 9 years, but the brand is new. So I have to reestablish a brand identity and recognition and all of that. So I'm in it right now, and it has its challenges, but at the end of the day, like, I want to do education, and I can't do that under the name of something that did something else, if that makes sense. It was just like it was a different product than it is now. So it felt necessary.
No, I totally understand that. I do. Like I could see where that would be problematic.
Yeah. I thought about it. I was like, at least people know it, but they'd be coming to me for things that I don't do now. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, speaking of coming to you for things, and you had mentioned just a little bit ago about doing private events and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had kind of brought it up too, but have you considered ever doing like commission work? Like if somebody needed something, like a song, would you be open to commissions?
I've done two. Two
Oh,
come.
okay.
One was a jingle. So I got commissioned to write a jingle for a bank.
Oh my gosh.
That was interesting and it paid well. So it was exciting. The other one was a wedding song. One of my fans asked for me to create a wedding song. It ended up being a song that I sang on my wedding day to my husband.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was really meaningful. But my limitation is that I don't really play instruments well enough to compose. So it's the reason I don't really do like composing. I don't really do sync licensing in a real sense. I can sing vocals. Like I've had people come to me and ask me to track vocals. So maybe more than two. It's been a few times. I have a producer up in DC who will call on me to track vocals for his tracks. So he'll give me like the lyrics and stuff like that. I'll sing to a track, but vocals are really like my main thing. So I guess the answer is yes. I would just need someone to do the instrumentation.
That's legit. I mean,
yeah,
being a singer is a huge part of any band, really. So that's awesome. That's really great to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really don't have anything else except I'm about to tie you in to the tabletop RPG community.
Cool.
And you probably didn't even know. I'm gonna surprise you on this one. So every 15th of every month on Shattered Tabletop Gaming, we do a giveaway. It's for all of our Twitch subscribers. If you're subscribed, you get automatically entered. And then I randomly select one of our subscribers and they win a little like gift box. Comes with some pretty cool little swag in it. It's got some dice and some STG stickers and some loose leaf tea from the Healing Wish Tea House. A little sample. So all of that is to say, normally I would roll a die because tabletop, random roll a die, see what the number is. Sometimes I use Twitch and use the command for it, and you can use the digital die. But this time I'm going to use the Burwell die. So what I need you to choose is a number between 1 and 11, including the numbers 1 and 11. So any number from 1 to 11.
I'm going to go with 9.
Number 9. Lucky number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Our winner for April 15th, our winner is Reckless Fury. So I'm going to reach out to Reckless Fury to get an address and send out a super awesome package courtesy of STG and Burwell. So welcome to the community. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. I'm looking at the comments. There are people hanging out with us. That's so
there
cool.
are, yeah. We got a few people. I do like to post their stuff on occasion. I posted a couple more from a couple earlier. They weren't asking questions or anything, but they were making statements about they love listening to all genres of music and about TikTok. And so yeah, they a big part of what we do at STG is to incorporate the community and our viewers, and they get to roll dice in the chat and just be part of it. They get to be part of our games.
So much fun.
But speaking of fun, I've had a blast talking to you. I always enjoy when you come on the show. Like you always have so much to say and great stories. And for those watching and those who might be checking this out on YouTube, I'm going to be working with Whitney more on getting some more clients on the show and just doing some more interviews and getting word out. So I'll be part of the marketing strategy. So I appreciate that. It's always great collabing with you in any kind of way. I love it.
Agreed.
But I just want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight, taking time out of your super busy schedule.
No problem. Glad to be here. Thanks for hanging out, everyone who's here and doing things and hanging out on a Tuesday. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange day, but it was the best way to spend a Tuesday I can think of. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
But all right, we are going to wrap things up and head on out of here. Would you like to take one more minute to tell everybody like your socials just one more time? Even if it's just Insta, you can do that. But let everybody know where to go to find you, and also if they are musicians, what they need to do to get in touch.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to hang out with me as a musician, my Instagram is Burwell Music. It's BURWELL Music. That's where I post everything and share updates and things like that. If you want to get in touch about marketing, if you have a product, you don't have to just be a musician. You can be a creator of any kind. If you want help with marketing or PR, my company website is makeasoundwave.com. And if you go there, you can learn all about my background. I have an impressive history of expertise. You can read about it. I don't want to brag here, but I have a master's degree and I worked in marketing for the last 15 years. So yeah, it's a lot easier to work in marketing than it is to be a musician. I will say that. Musician.
That's all good. That's what this platform is for. Brag away, and it's all about See, everybody.
Brag. Okay. I'll brag. We want the brags. I didn't know you guys would want the brags. All right. So undergrad, we're going to talk about marketing. This is not music. This is marketing history. Undergrad, I studied communication. I love words, love talking, love writing, love texting, love emails, love a good sentence. Studied communication. Went on to get my master's degree at the Brand Center, which is it's internationally ranked for advertising. It is a very hard school. Wanted to drop out multiple times, didn't drop out, got my degree. While I was a student, I worked at iHeartRadio. I worked at Capitol Records. Got to be at a label, got to be in radio, director of strategy at an ad agency, which if you want intensity, that's an intense thing to do. And then I started this company, the Marketing Mixtape Soundwave Strategy. I started my LLC right when I graduated from grad school. So I went from undergrad to grad to being a business owner. And it has been a journey. I am fairly comfortable with chaos and uncertainty as an entrepreneur, but I'm also very human. So I try to have a human approach to everything that I do, because at the end of the day, we're all doing the best we can. So that's my brag.
It's a wonderful brag. And in a world of automated telephones and AI everywhere, it's so great to know that there's still a human out there that's willing to help out, and got a sheesh. Okay, badass.
That's so nice. Thank you. That's really sweet.
Love it. And this is the tabletop community at their large. This is what they do. They love to encourage. They're all about promotion. And so we're definitely rooting for you. We're going to be in touch with you, and I'm sure I'm going to have you back on the show in the future. You're going to be putting out some more stuff, and it's going to be amazing.
You guys are so nice. Oh my gosh, I've got the comments open. This is sweet. This is like the best part of my day. Thank you.
I am so glad to hear that. Well, that will wrap up our show for this evening. Thank you very much for joining me, Whitney. I always love talking with you. And thank you to this amazing chat for your commentary and your beautiful comments. You all are always amazing.
Thank you.
You don't have to stick around for the outro video, but I'm going to play it anyway. Yeah, that'll wrap things up. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, is it time for the credits? Hey, thanks for watching. We hope you keep the chaos coming here at Shattered Tabletop Gaming. Hey, thanks for watching. We hope you keep the chaos coming here at Shattered Tabletop Gaming. Scan this QR to come along. Together we are so strong. Our Discord is a second home. Hang with us and you'll never be alone. Hey, thanks for watching. We hope you keep the chaos coming here at Shattered Tabletop Gaming. Scan this QR to come along. Together we are so strong. Our Discord is a second home. Hang with us and you'll never be alone.
All right.